Yeah, great respect to him, Warren. What a player he's been in the front row. He challenges the opposition week in and week out for 300 games for the Roosters. Congratulations to him. One of my favourites. Love watching him play.
As his coach Trent Robinson believes he is one of the greatest front rowers to have played the game, and when you think of the premierships he's been a part of and the 33 test matches he's played for New Zealand as well, there is no doubt he's in the pantheon of the best big men to have played this great game. Congratulations on game 300 to Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. He is the fourth Rooster who brought up this achievement behind Mitch Orbison, Anthony Minicello there also, and also Luke Ricketson. The mums in attendance and the wives of the Roosters, they'll sit back and hope that their team can make it 3 wins in a row after back-to-back victories, dominant wins against the Dragons and also the Broncos.
All right, stay on side.
So they'll kick towards the northern end of Allianz Stadium. It's James Tedesco who supplies the kickoff. It goes down to Tamare Martin. Back in the run-on team for the Warriors. Bunty Afoa is there and met, yes, by Jared Waerea-Hargreaves. Tackle number 1. Changes right across the board for the Warriors today, Joey. Freddie Lussick rather in the dummy half roll as Fanua Blake brings it back to the 30. There is Tohu Harris. About 10 or 12 metres right there. No Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, no Marcelo Montoya also on the left edge of the back line. So a couple of changes with Adam Pompey and also Ed Corsi coming in on that left edge. For the visitors today, Sean Johnson, beautiful torpedo, goes down to be taken there by James Tedesco, who will play at 25 short here of the halfway line for the Roosters.
Gee, that was a good recovery set there straight away from the kickoff. The first couple of tackles, they were driven back and laid on by the Roosters, and then all of a sudden Fanua Blake makes a 15-metre run upfield. They get to their kick. Good starting set there from the Warriors.
Brandon Smith also out of action for the Roosters. So Connor Watson there in the dummy half roll, taking a scoot. Now here is JWH. Takes it across the halfway line as Watson waits. Tedesco at first receiver there. They bypass him. Rattling Keary onto Crichton, who's in a real flush of form at the moment. Been tremendous on this left-hand side. Interesting now that he finds himself in a situation with the signing, of course, of David Fifita. He may not remain a Rooster beyond 2024. We'll see how that pans out. Good kick here. And the Roosters to work the Warriors over defensively here inside their own 20. Of course, he coming in for a carry. Lussick at dummy half. To that left-hand side, Adam Pompey, his 4th game of the season for the Warriors. So come back to the middle. Tohu Harris, that left knee heavily bandaged. As Lussick waits, looks to the left-hand side, comes across here to Fanua Blake at the back end of the set of 6 to play it at the halfway line. Johnson under pressure here from Keary, who charges it down, waits for a bounce. He's one-on-one with Nickel Cookstar. Stops, tries to step him on the inside, and Nickel Cookstar wraps him up there inside the 20. Big chance for the Roosters. The heads-up play by Luke Keary. Walker floating across the 20-metre line. Manu turns Barnett inside out. 15 away in this bonus set from close range. And speaking of bonus sets, 6 more here for the Roosters. Watson waits at dummy half. It's Keary at first receiver. Tedesco showing it. He'll turn himself and the defenders almost inside out there. Nothing doing for the skipper. From 10 away, Waerea-Hargreaves takes a tackle. Underneath, stopped there by Freddie Lussick. As Watson comes across to Keary. Here's Walker now at the back. Manu in and away. Opened up the space so beautifully for Dominic Young. The Roosters grabbed the first try. You can chalk it up, though, to the charge down by Luke Keary, who gave them possession, and then the footwork in the hands of Joseph Manu.
I suppose we'll have a look at the charge down first there by Keary. Johnson taking an age. It's a big effort play here to get there. Keary charges down. Just watch how he waits for it to bounce up. He didn't try and catch it there on the first bounce. And the Roosters, for the Harvey Norman replay, get a repeat set. Look at this, right at the line. Manu, beautiful stuff. Just got him engaged. Couple of defenders to flick out the back. Dom Young, he's having a party out there, playing off this bloke. Goes in for his 5th try of the season. And what a start. They don't need any invitation once they get 20 or 30 metres out. They are in white hot form, the Roosters, and they made it look so easy. Manu is a genius with the flick pass. You know it's coming, but you can't stop it. Dominic Young scores the opening try.
Yeah, well finished by the outside backs, but the man on the left-hand side of the field, Luke Keary, with that charge down. He had all the time in the world. He actually had to put the brakes on, and he could wait for the kick there from Shaun Johnson to charge it down, make sure it was a clean contact. He was there so early. Johnson and the Warriors pay a penalty for turning it over deep inside their own territory.
Well, you have a look at the replacement. Kossi, the winger, had to come in. You've got a 2-man tackling, haven't you? Come in for Manu. As soon as you come in, he flicks the ball out the back. Dominic Young with an easy passage.
Sam Walker bends it back. Great opening here for the home side. The Roosters lead the Warriors 6 points to 0. Down to Matty Russell.
Warren, Steve, and to all the mums, a special good afternoon. An early present here for the Roosters among the mums watching. After the big wet we've seen this week, the surface is pretty good, despite the fact it was underwater at parts last night. The 2 rugby games, the ground staff have done a fantastic job. The red, white and blue in the house. Haven't these two teams, men, had contrasting weeks? Let's see if it flows into what really matters, the 80 minutes at the end of it. If it does, it's advantage Roosters, like it is already on the scoreboard.
A restart by the Warriors, taken by Dominic Young. Waerea-Hargreaves here to bring it back, with Mitch Barnett playing on that left edge. Second time this season he's played as an edge forward as opposed to his normal position. Barnett in the middle, whereas Young goes straight through the middle. Could have done with Barnett right there. The Roosters on the attack already. Collins now inside the 40. He'll play it for Watson as Keary waits at first receiver. They just picked up from where they left off in the last couple of weeks, haven't they, on Anzac Day here against the Dragons. And then last week against the Broncos. Manu and Young once again. Young keeps it alive. Watson tips it up. It comes to Radley. Collins. Crichton! Crichton scores! The Roosters, a power set of 6. Dominic Young blitzing the Warriors through the middle, and it finished off by Angus Crichton.
Yeah, well, it's just the initial break there by Dom Young. Look how hard he runs through the middle of the ruck here. If you don't put your body on the line here, he's going to run straight through you. Straight past Lussick, beats Johnson. Great tackle there to slow him up by Rocco Berry. And then again, the flick pass. He has to come in again, Rocco, to make the tackle. And off he goes again. Hardly got his breath there. Offload, ball bouncing on the ground. They scoop it up, spread straight away. That's a great run there. The offload straight to Butcher. Another miss there by Johnson. And Angus Crichton is the man that scores the try. In rare form, Angus Crichton. Great to see him back. Last couple of weeks he's been outstanding. The one-handed pass there. He's far too strong, straight over the top to score. And aren't they on fire? Everyone getting on board for the Roosters. What a great team try.
Well, this sort of form is ominous for everybody else in the competition. On the bench, Brandon Smith, he was lapping it up, missing with a calf muscle injury today. That's why Connor Watson is out there in the dummy half role for him. But Angus Crichton, his 4th try of the season, 38 for his career, and at the end of a big swing to the left-hand side after Dominic Young's run through the middle. And it is ominous for everybody else in the competition, the form they are showing here, with almost a completely full complement of players available to choose from for Trent Robinson. An old Rooster there in Mitchell Pearce, sitting along with Jake Friend also. Watching on thinking, how good are our team going at the moment?
Well, you know, the great thing about it was Dominic Young didn't just idolise himself at the scoreboard and have a look up there. He got himself back in the position, gets another offload there from Manu. And he is on fire. How do you tackle that bloke one-on-one? What a player he is. And on the other side of the field, Angus Crichton. Got a try last week and another one now.
So shall I restart this time by the Warriors? And it's Daniel Tupou to bring it back and play it just inside the Roosters 20. Andrew Webster, a worried man already. Watching on. Steve having lost 3 games straight. Already in a hole, 12 points to nil. It's Collins. Up here towards the 40. Watson fires it to Radley. They look so sharp. Their work is crisp here in these opening minutes at Allianz Stadium. First of 2 games on the Sunday ticket. Titans and the Cowboys to follow this one as the Roosters have one more play here. Keary kicks towards the corner. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, who makes the catch. Comes in behind Sean Johnson. No problems there. And Crichton and Collins combine to stop him inside the red zone. Keary thinking about getting up in the face of Johnson again and putting real pressure on him. Perhaps another charge down like he did before the first try. The Warriors have put it down here. Coming in field, Ed Corsi looking for a carry. Oh, this is an inviting drama, isn't it, for the Roosters getting possession here just outside the 20.
Well, it's hard to get yourself back into the game when you get the football back and you make an error like that, especially in the opposition. The speed of the play the ball from the Roosters, and then their fast rushing defence forces the error, and this is where they're dangerous. 22 metres out in the middle of the park. The Roosters are on fire at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if they score again here.
AC Badger working with the front row of both teams as on the scrum win, Walker. And the wrap around there with Manu. What a show they are putting on from the scrum win. Young has a second try in the space of 10 minutes. That's the Roosters 16 points to nil. It's the Harlem Globetrotters today.
Oh, sit back and enjoy this one right in the middle of the park. 0 tackle. Just have a look at the halfback here in Walker. Just keeps himself alive. The pass over the top. He's having a field day, isn't he? Young goes in for his second. So easy. Set play from a scrum. Beautifully orchestrated. Dom Young. He's in again. Off the back of a mistake there from the Warriors. You talk about getting ambushed. And they're in for number 3.
I mentioned a moment ago they look crisp with the ball. Boy, it really put an exclamation mark on the end of that statement, didn't it? What we just saw there from the scrum win. Timing was beautiful, and Dominic Young on the end of it, as you say, having an absolute field day here. 2 tries already. We've still got the best part of 70 minutes to play.
Just amazing, the will to win. When you have a look at what they did last week to the Brisbane Broncos, who I said will be right up there at the end of the season, 40-18 they defeated them. Looks like they'll run away with this game by the look of their start. They've come out with plenty of energy. They've attacked right from the opening whistle. And they look the goods here this afternoon. Everyone involved, not just 1 or 2 players. They've all been outstanding so far.
How good is it to see an old-fashioned run-around as well?
Hard to defend.
I'll save that one for Mother's Day. This occasion of Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, 300 for the Roosters. Walker shaves the upright. It stays at 16 points to nil.
What a start by the Roosters. What a start by that man, Dom Young, taking his season try tally from 4 to 6 already. How many does he finish with? The right winger for the Roosters. Already we're on Stats Watch, men. The Roosters hunting 40 points for 3 consecutive games. For the first time since 1935, they're hunting 8 straight wins against the Warriors. They lead the league in points, in tries, second for tackle bust, third in offloads. It's all on show early here at Allianz Stadium.
That it is. And then some. As Tupou makes the catch, Lindsay Collins brings it back. Matty, you mentioned 1935, the great Dave Brown, the prolific try scorer. He scored them in bunches, handfuls literally in almost every game that season. A remarkable performance, and Dominic Young, he might have a Dave Brown type afternoon here today. 2 tries already as Radley played 15 short of the halfway line. Warriors playing a big penalty out though for turning the ball over at their own end of the field. Once by a charge down, the other via an error. Set restart once again. Warriors can't get their hands on the ball, and the Roosters are just frothing at the moment for a touch. Tedesco there. Now Keary comes back on the inside. Swalei dragging Rocco Berry with him. They're 25 metres out. Tackles to Burn, and Walker handing it off to Radley. Right-hand side is where both halves are stationed. Keary on the inside there for Collins. Well, stop me if you can. It was Michael Cookstar underneath who did well. Now Tedesco, inside pass there from Watson. Keeps it alive. Collins spins it to Walker. It's on the inside there for Butcher. They just straighten things up and work it towards the uprights. And they have one more play. Quick play the ball. Keary, Grubbers, Crichton! Crichton wins the race. It's number 4 for the Roosters, and we've only played 13 minutes.
Well, they are doing things twice as quick as the Warriors. I know they've had a lot of ball, the Roosters. Look at Luke Keary going always with the right option. Just feigns the pass on the outside here, but boot the ball. What a chase there. Chased that hard, Crichton. There was no way he was going to not get the football there. Slams it down. The Blouts favoured him. Cookstar tried to get there on time. They tried to cover it up. Be interested to see where he starts from. Keary, look at that. Feigns the pass. The grubber kick in and behind. And look at the bounce for Crichton. But that's a big play, how hard he chased. There's enough on that. That's a try. What a start from the Roosters.
Well, they are absolutely white hot here this afternoon. The Warriors just cannot defend a repeat set of 6. And Angus Crichton has a double. Dominic Young has a double. Luke Keary is in commanding form in this left-hand side of the field. Walker patrolling the right edge. There are threats everywhere. And the Roosters really firing a shot across the bow of the rest of the competition with the form they're in at the moment. Walker converts. Yes, why wouldn't you come in a Roosters mask on this day? 22 points to nil.
So good.
22 points in 14 minutes.
So good to see Angus Crichton back into this Roosters side. Not only that, but he's put himself in the frame for State of Origin. So good to see him playing well. Big, strong, long striding back rower. He's so strong. Beats a couple of tackles to score his first try and then chases hard for the second. Mate, put him in the Origin. Put him somewhere in the 17. We need him.
The blue passion rising for Stephen Roach with the restart. Work it down here to Collins, who brings it back at the 20. What a day. Waerea-Hargreaves picking up his 300th game in the NRL, just working up behind the play now, looking for another carry. Watson, in the meantime, comes back out to this left-hand side of the field, and he's made a habit of being a winner in milestone games. Waerea-Hargreaves, Walker over the top to Young. He had to wait for it, but it doesn't matter. Here he is, weaving back infield. Still there for the Roosters. The Roosters thought it was touched by a Warrior, and they may have had a case there. Play on is the call. Manu, Tedesco, chipping over the top. It's a race with Berry. Berry gets there and saves the day for the Warriors.
Somebody stop him. What about that? Expanding on left and right of the field with their football, but then the chip through the middle there from Tedesco. Dom Young again with a pass back on the inside. Lussick couldn't clean it up. Look at Tedesco. Chip over the top. Beats the tackle there of Tohu Harris. The chase is on. Somehow they get back there first. Okay, Berry it was. But The next best thing, they've forced the line drop out here.
This will be the Roosters' 10th set of 6 for the game. The Warriors have had just 3 touches of the ball. Young, what a colossus!
Stop it.
Up above everybody. He was suspended in midair. Walker. Waerea-Hargreaves. He'd love to grab one today. As Watson from dummy half comes to Keary. He's got Crichton charging hard, bouncing off defenders. Johnson only just chops him down a metre out. Watson feeded back here for Radley. He comes to Keary. Tedesco's there, pokes his nose through the line, can't link with Butcher.
Geez, he should have passed there.
Just couldn't get his arms free in time as Radley comes to Keary. There's a surplus of numbers. Keary hangs onto it. They'll catch them out on this right edge of the Warriors line. Now Watson, last play, short ball there again. A little bit of subterfuge from the Roosters. They'll try and mix things up and convince the Warriors they were going out the back. Collins is stopped and the Warriors hang on there. It was Dylan Walker who was on the field early making that stop, and he got up a little bit dusty there.
Gee, it was a good catch there from Lindsay Collins too. I think he thought the ball was going to go out the back, but he ran like he was going to get it and gets the football. Then we see the poor old Warriors haven't been up the other end so far. You just forget, 10 from 10 they are, the Roosters, to start the game. How good. Great to watch at the moment.
So this is just the Warriors' 4th set of 6 since the game began. Only completed the 1, which was their very first set of 6. Lassie feeds it for Johnson. No charge down this time from Keary, who was thereabouts again. He senses there's a real chance today as Tedesco brings it back. They look like they're just in a different gear completely to the Warriors. They're at 110%, and the Warriors, their battery needs recharging.
I know they've had a lot of football, but 15 missed tackles so far to none from the Roosters. The Warriors have got to try and find a way, but just the speed of the play, the ball, they're struggling to get back to 10 and then up again. That's been the problem for them so far.
Sean Johnson may well have an issue out here. He's going to do plenty of defending on this right-hand side. With the traffic they have sent at him early. Walker comes out the back to Keary. Here is Swalili. Good stop there by Rocco Berry, one-on-one. Quick play the ball, though, and it's Keary to kick out towards Young. Chance to get up against Corsi. Taps it back infield. Play on. Waerea-Hargreaves was there, trying to pull off a little trick himself. Couldn't keep it in Roosters' hands, and the Warriors have it. But they are battle fatigued here for the time being.
Yeah, this might help a little bit. Just a stoppage in play.
Yeah, I think it was
Waerea-Hargreaves, the eyes might have lit up here.
just wait for us, Adam.
Trying to catch a pass on the outside. Pretty filthy about that. They've got them where they want them again. Fatigue would start to set in now. All the defence the poor old Warriors have had to do, and then you've got to roll the sleeves up and do the tough runs off your own line. A tough way to make a living now.
Warriors on both sides of the field. They're less than 100% fit at the moment. Horsey going back to the wing, flexing a calf muscle or a knee. An issue there with the leg. Thumbs up for the moment from the Warriors trainer in behind the line. Jackson forward on this right-hand side. Brings it back towards the halfway line, and there's tall Hugh Harris, who takes it back into Roosters territory. And last, they'll kick through Johnson, and shaking off the problem he had just a moment ago. Goes down here to Dominic Young, feeds it back to Tedesco. He's got Tupou there with him, sliding as he went to ground there on a soft bit of the turf at that southern end of the stadium, and now Keary finds Tupou to work it away.
Just love the way they have a shot at you in every set of 6, not even depending on where they are on the field. Watch them shift the ball here off a quick play the ball. The Roosters just running the Warriors ragged at the moment. Can they keep it up?
Played the ball there before the kick from Johnson at the end of the set for the Warriors. Was their first tackle inside Roosters territory for the game. Watson. Here we are. As the game go by. The last play for the Roosters, Keary feeds it back to Walker. Going to strike the ball from him, but it goes down to Nickel Crookstar, who will bring it back just beyond the 20. The Roosters in 8th position, commanding position on the scoreboard here today. They lead Matty Russell 22 points to 0.
Yeah, Wade Egan fresh onto the ground. I've been following Shaun Johnson. That left arm slash pec not right. The last set he was really struggling with it. Keeps clutching at the left pec, so we'll keep an eye on Shaun Johnson.
Here is Egan, fresh on the field, coming off the bench today. See there, just the motion of putting the ball. He clutches at that shoulder and/or pec. He's obviously injured that in a previous tackle. And a great tackle to save a try on his own line against Angus Crichton. Not that long before he started feeling the effects of that shoulder and/or pec. The Roosters at their own 10. Here is Young coming infield for a carry after he went 50 metres earlier in the game to help set up the second try of the afternoon, scored by Angus Crichton, his first. And nabbed 4 already. Keary bypasses Collins, comes across to Crichton, who again is stopped in a nice tackle there by Berry, but the speed of the play the ball is a real concern. Swali'i lunging out with that leg as he came to the tackle there of Wade Egan, who might have been opened up by that contact. Here is Walker, who kicks into the 20. Horsey going back. He's got Nickel Crookstar there with him, but they look so weary already. Right across the line, the Warriors.
Just having a look at Wade Egan in the background too. He's got a bad nick over on one of his eyes. Looks like the left eye. He's still with the trainer at the moment. He's only just come onto the field.
A number of head cuts in recent times has Wade Egan. The elbow injury as well, just heavily scrapped again today. Really has been in the wars. Just off the bench, he's picked up an injury again already. Walker. So a couple of plays here at least at this end of the field, but they haven't sniffed the 20 as yet with the ball. Tupou under the high kick, comes across to Tedesco. He had Walker back there with him, and Young also. So keen for a carry here, the Roosters. Jared Waerea-Hargreaves gets the applause of the faithful. Game 300 today. The tricolours of the eastern suburbs. Yes, they're the Sydney Roosters. But still based, of course, out of Bondi Junction in this magnificent new venue here at Moore Park.
Gee, they've picked out Shaun Johnson, haven't they? Obviously, the Roosters think that there's a weakness there on the right-hand side. But it's not Swali'i running at him, it's Angus Crichton. So, big afternoon defensively for Johnson. He's holding that shoulder again too in the back play. I'm just watching him.
Tedesco 3-on-2. Lovely work infield for Manu. Young again. Chips over the top. Walker is there. Can't hang on to it. He knocked it on. So close again to producing the spectacular here today.
Well, aren't they a dangerous football side? As I said, they're always at you. Again, beautiful pass there from Manu. Straight on the chest there of Young. The chip over the top. Just trying to catch it and pass it in one motion when there was a fence around him there, Walker. He'll be better off taking the tackle there. And that's a relieving one there, really, for the Warriors. They're getting carved up on both sides of the field, through the middle. Just keeps coming at them every set. Again, it's the Warriors trying to work it off their line. Got Wade Egan getting his head strapped there. A little bit of a nick over the eye.
There's Keary coming towards Swali'i, and there's that contact I mentioned with that lunging action. It has been, of course, a problem for Joseph Swali'i in the past, and we'll wait and see if the match review committee looks at that contact there with Egan going low and taking the knee flush to the head from Joseph Swali'i. Glance towards the big screen there from the Roosters centre, looking up as the replay rolled right in front of him. With a nervous wait in the morning. So Egan here. Left advantage around that pass. Johnson brings it down towards the halfway line. They're midway through this set. Oh, now Johnson. That really hurt, that contact there. And he may not be able to continue on.
He's been grabbing at that shoulder. As I mentioned, he's had plenty of traffic coming at him here in the first half. He injured, looks like a pec injury. Injured at sort of the first 5 minutes of the game. There's a clash over the top. Oh, a little bit of a chicken wing there. I reckon they might get a penalty here. We'll have a look at that. He's trying to turn him on his back.
Well, if he had an issue before, he really will off the back of that. No wonder he was unable to get up and play the ball. He's still feeling that pec area. And the Buccaneers had a couple of looks at that. Certainly plenty of time to check out the action there of Luke Keary. And they're happy for play to continue on. They don't believe there was any foul play there. It was all in motion, I guess. But again, the match review committee can take a look at that tomorrow morning. As Egan comes across through Walker and then Johnson. There's a good start here. He runs to Keary. And they'll play it 25 metres out for Berry. Defeated to Johnson. An attacking kick. Perhaps their first of the game. It'll be too big here. Dominic Young, an easy catch back in the in-goal area. And they'll play it at their own 20 as Young takes the tap. Gets them back underway.
Well, that's a big thing here from the Roosters. Just have a look at that. Dominic Young catches the ball in the in-goal area. That's how quick. They want to play that up-tempo footy. Gee, they've been quick in this game. Speed of the play, the ball has really upset the Warriors in this game so far. Had time to... had found it hard to adjust a number of times. Here's Crichton again bouncing out of tackles. Plenty of misses here for the Warriors in the first half. 19 it is. 19 missed tackles so far in this game, but the Roosters have had all the football, but good players make you miss.
Here's Walker. Across to Terrell May. The Warriors have stemmed the flow for the moment. Just got themselves going set for set with the Roosters for the first time, and there is a mistake from the Roosters. Through the hands this time. They go to the edge, and the pass was forward.
Just trying a little bit too hard there. Just flat in the line. Walker going out the line. He's got plenty of tricks in his bag, hasn't he? Walker, that time, floats the ball forward. Improving one there for the Warriors, but I don't know if they've got the energy to get up the other end. They've had to do a lot of defence, a lot of movement in their defensive line. Because the Roosters are putting plenty of pressure on with their ball movement.
And speaking of the ball, they've had 2/3 of possession, 66 to 34. Spencer Leniu on the bike. We'll see him before half-time. Hasn't played since round 1. Back to that 8-game suspension. Situation involving Ezra Mann as the Warriors through Egan and through Johnson, Harris out the back. Turns it back on the inside there, and he wrapped up pretty comfortably as Adam Pompey will play it just outside the 30. A head fake from Egan for Nua Blake. He runs a carry at this end. They'll score a try as well. Already 4 tries in 9 games in 2024. Walker at the back for Johnson. First man option there was Berry. Good tackle by Keary underneath. Play on. Egan has it. Here's a chance for Ford. His pass goes to ground. Not touched by a Rooster is the call. Play on, so it's Walker. We'll straighten here and play it just inside the Roosters' 10. From Egan. Comes to Harris. Charging hard, Mitch Barnett. Pops it out the back. There will be play on as Manu cleans up for the Roosters. And he'll take a tackle there in front of his own upright.
Yeah, there's no real support there. Barnett got the ball free, offloaded the footy, a no-look pass, but there was no one there. Waiting for the next play, the Warriors. Another mistake. The Roosters get the football back.
And Spencer Leniu fresh off the bike. And the change card in hand. He hands that over. Takes the place of Lindsay Collins, who goes out the back.
Watch him rev up here, Warren. They get the penalty. The Roosters on the 30-metre line. They'll kick for touch and straight away. Watch Spencer Leniu. Watch him wind up before half-time. Hasn't played for a long time. Be itching to get back out there.
They begin here at the halfway line. The Warriors have had no answer to defending repeat sets of 6 so far in this game, and they'll be under pressure here as they come across to Crichton, puts it down on play number 1. So a couple of errors in a short space of time from the Roosters, both of them around about that midfield situation. It'll give the Warriors their best chance to put points on the board so far here today.
Gee, you'd be disappointed in that. Angus Crichton just trying to offload the ball, the tackle over the top. Made some telling tackles too, Rocco Berry. I know the score is 22-0 in favour of the Roosters, but Berry along with Johnson have had to make up some special tackles here in the first half. Roosters lose the ball and tackle 1.
Through Poppy, who will play it here. 45 out from the Roosters line. Egan down the short side, and Barnett going with him. Out wide still. Take it down there through Martin, who plays at 25 metres out. Johnson comes to Fanua Blake.
Done a good job on him too, just put him on the ground, threw in the tackle every time on Blake.
Martin, first receiver, comes to Pompey. Rooster himself is only 5 metres away from Egan. Goes to Martin, who bypasses Fanua Blake. Walker for Johnson. Short ball there for Jackson Ford. Always runs a nice line, does Ford, but he was well handled by his opposite number right there. Egan for Walker. Fanua Blake. Good stop, one-on-one underneath Nat Butcher. Cutting his legs from underneath him.
Yeah, good tackle there, Nat Butcher. Taking the play back. As I said before, the Roosters just trying to get on with it every time, every opportunity. And they get the football back. Been a highlight from them in the first half, just their speed of everything that they've done. Dom Young in off the wing, looking for work.
And here is Spencer Leniu doing what he does so well. Just launching himself at defenders, saying, "Stop me if you can." To his credit, Dylan Walker put a solid bump on him. But he is a sight to behold. Big tackle there. How's that run again? Leniu and Walker coming together. What a cannonball he is. Egan Butcher now out there for the Roosters in jumper 19. Another change made by Trent Robinson. There's Watson on the last. Slow delivery to Sam Walker. Put it up for Nickel Cookstart. Tedesco coming through, got a hand on it, knocks the ball on.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, competing for the football every time, Tedesco. Warriors at the back, he got the first touch on it, knocks the ball forward. Cookstart knows that he's going to be around here all afternoon.
Just a half step away there, James Tedesco, to being a better chance of getting 2 hands on that. And stealing one away from Nickel Cookstart. And the Warriors, off the back of these 3 straight losses, Jazz Tavunga waiting for a chance on the bench. The hamstring strain back in round 6, looking for his first action since then today. Back much earlier than anticipated. Good thing for the Warriors because they need all the help they can get. Still missing, of course, Kurt Capewell, Maratani Okore, and the forwards in particular. So 30 metres out here. One more play. Comes from Egan. Johnson, who was flat, he'll bomb away back to the left-hand side. Young is there up against Corsi. Comes back here for Pompey. He goes to Harris. Numbers here for the Warriors. Johnson kicks in behind. Picked up by Watene Zelezniak, and he puts it down.
Well, I reckon Dom Young over the other side of the field was taken out while he was trying to catch the football on the full. I thought he was knocked out of the play. Here it is.
Coming through there, you see Corsi make contact with Dominic Young before he in turn made contact with the ball itself. And not have been hard done by there. Dominic Young. It doesn't matter because the Roosters survived. Sean Johnson really is inconvenienced by that pec muscle injury.
And Trent Robinson will be looking at the scramble there straight away defensively from the Roosters. They lead 22 points to nil, but still desperate. Mistake here, is it?
That it is. It's May who, in trying to play it, has knocked it on. And Trent Robinson is watching his team race out to a 22 points to nil lead. And then put down a few balls and brought the Warriors into some good field position.
And they've fallen in a little bit of a hole, haven't they, the last 10 minutes, the Roosters, with their possession. They started the game so well. They completed the first 12 sets.
We'll begin here. The Warriors with Ed Corsi playing it. Egan off the bar net. Tackle there of Egan Butcher. Just outside the 20. There is Johnson back on the inside for Harris. What's doing there? Solid tackle through the middle made by Nat Butcher. And Harris unable to get back to his feet. In fact, he does now to play the ball. Something else for the bunker to take a look at potentially. As Ford plays it, it's Egan for Walker. The Warriors searching for their first points. Good tackle again. It was a beauty made by Nat Butcher. Walker comes out the back. Johnson lost it, got it back. He pulled the ball out of his back pockets, but the referee believes
no try.
it may have been touched
Lead runner contact on Angus
by a
Crichton
Rooster,
here,
or
and
no,
it affects
perhaps
his ability to
an
continue to
obstruction
play.
call, opening up that space for Johnson.
Gee, you'd give it to him with that. How good was his hands? Here's the lead runner going through now. It's Ford. He does come in connection there with, I think it's Crichton, but I don't think Crichton would have ever got there. He was straight, he was past the gap there. Johnson, a great bit of handling. He gets caught up here on Ford.
Jackson Ford's obligation is to get through the defensive line or pull up short. He runs straight at the chest of Angus Crichton. Sean Johnson plays through that next space. We have a decision.
Well, I'm going to say, I know for the letter of the law it's a try, but there's no way he would have caught Johnson there. He was off and running.
Denied the chance though, which is all the bunker is looking for there, and as close to the hole, one defender inside the hole that was created. I say obstruction call there against the Warriors. Boy, it was a clever piece of work though by Johnson all the same, wasn't it? He was grimacing as he went across to plant the ball down. He'd lost it, somehow maintained possession, reeled it back in and planted it down to no avail. That kind of afternoon for the Warriors, Blocky.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, nothing's gone their way, but I mentioned a little bit earlier, just the amount of fatigue, the amount of tacklers that they had to make. And there's another loose ball. It's fallen away. Angus Crichton is with the lost football here. They're going to challenge it.
Right.
So the ball was ripped out by the look of
We
it.
have a captain's challenge from the Roosters on the decision of knock-on. We're coming into tackle one.
He was adamant, as you saw there, Angus Crichton.
Rocco Berry's right arm is locked on the ball. At this point, the tackle is complete. He then strips the ball out. The challenge is successful.
They wanted that last second, a little bit of a ripping action there from Berry. We have a nightmare, those two, Berry and also Sean Johnson. Just the amount of traffic that's come down their side. Roosters get a relieving penalty. Let's see if they can hang on for the 6 this time.
Coughed up errors in 3 of their last 5 sets. So get themselves back into the red zone here to put some real pressure on the Warriors once again in search of try number 5. Watson from dummy half comes across to Walker. They turn back on the inside, stopped there by Harris. Also for Nua Blake. Stays on his feet though. Watson gives it to Keary. Now Swaliti almost away. Good tackle once again made by Rocco Berry. Watson through Egan Butcher. Walker to Desco. Manu now stops. Siege there from Mitch Barnett, who swings him to ground. It'll help the Warriors get back on their own line. Tedesco, short ball. Only there once again. Take it to ground. In fact, it was Nat Butcher out there at right centre with Manu infield waiting for a chance here. Walker, he will kick it. They're all on side. Swaliti, he leaps through his hands. It falls for Angus Crichton. The referee says it'll be a knock-on in the referral to the bunker.
Oh, gee, we'll have to have a look at it again. Does Crichton get his hand to it and knock the ball backwards? Or does it come forward out of his hands? A crossfield kick, perfectly weighted. They go
Cleared
up.
the kick chasers onside from the Roosters.
Where does the ball go after the contact here of the hands? What first contact? Joseph Swaliti.
Ball comes off Joseph Suoliti's hands. Just look for perspective now.
Tell you what, if you look at the line there, that'll tell you whether it went forward or back. There's the 10-metre line there.
This angle here will give you a better view.
The ball then rotates forward towards the opponent's dead ball line, constituting a knock-on. We have a decision.
Happy with that call? Yeah. Touched it, and it.
I'll tell you what, you're
if anything,
not as happy as the Warriors are.
yes. If anything, it touched his hands and went directly to the ground, and that's a knock-on. And it was close. And Angus Crichton denied a first-half hat-trick off the back of the form he's shown recently. We'll talk about him returning to the origin scene for New South Wales. They are dropping like flies, though, the Blues at the moment, especially in the back line, quite obviously. The injuries to Tom Trbojevic, Nathan Cleary already in this alarming round 10 if you are Michael Maguire, the New South Wales coach. The Warriors to work it away through Martin from dummy half. Blake here. Strong carry. Some attention there from three of the Roosters forwards. As Egan comes back to the middle. Harris short ball. Barnett. And it has been called forward.
It was a late call, wasn't it? In case of Burgess, she got it right, but... Yep. Forward pass. What he's hit the lead runner a couple of times there in Barnett. He's run hard, Barnett. He hasn't got the spoils he deserves in the first half, but at least he's playing nice and direct against this Roosters defence. It's been so solid in the first half.
Well, again, the Roosters here to begin inside of halfway. Pretty much if they get through this set, control the ball all the way to a half-time siren. Giving it to Dom Young is a pretty good way to get things going, given what we've seen here today. Walker. And Manu skipping across the field. Keary to Desco. They just can't get through a set suddenly. Anthony Zalesniak. After the Roosters were so good with the ball. It's an absolute clinic they were putting on in the opening 15 minutes of the game. They've made a ton of errors in the 15 here before half-time. So just on 35 seconds now remaining for the Warriors. At least a couple of plays. A chance, one last chance. Grab some points before the break. Here is Egan. To his right-hand side where he goes to Walker. Nickel Klugstar showing it on this right-hand side. Johnson barking instructions in the middle of the field. We'll get at least one more play here. It's Walker going to Johnson. Barnett. Well stopped by Nat Butcher. One last play here for the Warriors. It's Walker who takes it to the line, and that should be the end of the opening 40 minutes. After a blinding start to the game by the Roosters in Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, 300 for the Roosters here today. At the break, they lead 22 points to nil, courtesy of a double to Dominic Young and also Angus Crichton, who crossed twice for the Roosters in that opening 15 minutes of the game. James Tedesco, though, leads the Roosters back out. They're on track to make it another milestone win for Jared Waerea-Hargreaves, who's made a habit of winning in big games when he brings up the century. Today it's 300 games for the Roosters. Spencer Leniu, his second appearance only for the season. And there is JWH, who'll be out there at some point in the second half as they try and go on with the job here. Warren Smith, Steve Blocker-Roach and Matt Russell bringing you all the action on the first of 2 games on the Sunday ticket. Taking to the Titans and the Cowboys beyond this. They'd like the Warriors to have that man, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, in action. You see that bandage around that left quad and hamstring area. Suffered the injury during the week at training. And we'll see how long he's out for in the days ahead. But they really could do with him here today. The former Rooster himself. So it's Leniu to bring it back. And he gets going so quickly. See if they can continue on with this points barrage in the second half, or as it turned out in that final 15 to 20 minutes of the opening half, their hands betrayed them after they were perfect to begin the game. They completed their opening 10 sets of the game, and then after that they were just 7 from 12, the Roosters.
Well, I just wonder what they'll do with Sean Johnson here. They'll give him 20 minutes and see if they can get back into the game. He was across the stripe in the first half. But I don't reckon you should risk him there. If they don't look like they're getting back in the game, they should get him off.
Let's see how that pans out for the Warriors. Had some chances to score. In fact, Johnson, as close as anybody, no try call, an obstruction not long before the break as the kick goes down here to Nickel Cookstar. Stopped there by Terrell Main. They begin 25 out from their own line. Tenny's Lesniak. See a lot of the ball in the opening half, given how much defence the Warriors did in that opening 20 minutes in particular. Back here towards the halfway line. Not a bad Mother's Day crowd here. They've seen a show. Egan from dummy half comes across to Fanua Blake. He wants it inside the 30. Butcher was there, so was Angus Crichton, both defending on the same side of the field as Johnson kicks out towards Berry, and Watene Zelezniak going up above everybody is Daniel Tupou, who will bring it down, and the Roosters here to try and work it away from the yardage set off their own line. Smiley taking it forward. There's a Warrior who hit the deck there, Jackson Ford, as he went through to try and be involved in that defensive play. No call, and through Young, the Roosters have got themselves out of trouble. His numbers for the opening half, Dominic Youngblood, unbelievable.
Well, he was unbelievable in the first half. Only 178 metres Dom Young ran for. Unheard of. I've never seen that before. Just his involvement. And just Manu with the ability to get him the football. Going over unopposed a couple of times in that first half, but his work rate, the back end of the field has been great.
Kick from outside the 40, fielded by the Warriors. They bring it back beyond their 20 there through Nickel Cookstar. Now Horsey for a carry. We go downstairs for a half-time report from Matty Russell.
Warren, Trent Robinson was concerned his side lost its way in the back end of that first half. He said, get back to basics. Don't think score on every play. Now, for the Warriors, they were happy with the way they worked their way back into the contest. They wanted to start with a defensive approach, score first, go from there. When it comes to Sean Johnson, I asked about that pec. Clearly there's an injury. I said, is it an impact injury or a tear? They don't know, but he wants to play tough. And I suppose scans in coming days will reveal more.
Yeah, they really are up against it here today and beyond as Tedesco comes across. He had no option there. He had to play at the ball. There was pressure coming through from the Warriors chasers. He couldn't risk letting that bounce again. Could have gone absolutely anywhere, maybe straight to a Warrior. So he takes it and then slides into touch. So the Warriors a good kick, and it will give them a full set here from close range.
It'd be good if they can get across the strike first in the second half. That'll be their main goal here, just to kick-start their second half. I was just looking at Egan Butcher too in the back plate. He was helped by a trainer too, some sort of injury, shoulder, right under the post at the moment he is.
As Egan waits, comes back here for Tohu Harris, who goes towards Spencer Leniu and company. And now Now Johnson from Barnett put down, cleaned up by Walker. He's got Young, who might race away. Watene Zelezniak is there. Can he match it with him? Yes, he can. Great tackle by DWZ. Walker will kick it 50 metres across the field. What a play! Sam Walker! Why bend it like Beckham when you can kick it like Cronk?
What about the guts enough to do that, player? What about that? The crossfield kick, how good?
Cooper Cronk eats your heart out. Sam Walker, what a play. He says, boys, there's nothing to it. Heads up. He knew they were shot to bits and he kicked it 50 across the field.
Well, who do you think taught him everything that he knows? Cooper's on the coaching staff. He taught him that. That's what he'll say anyway after the game.
What a chase by Dallin Watene Zelezniak, and then watch the Harvey Norman replay. Walker from dummy half that says, boys, there it is. Who wants it? Daniel Tupou says, I want it.
Yeah, perfectly weighted. It looked like he was offside there. Waiting for 10 seconds for the ball to come down. What a heads-up play there. That's great vision from Walker. This kid gets better and better. What ability he has. Just the guts enough to do that play. What if it doesn't come off? Off with your head on with a pumpkin.
It usually comes off for Sam Walker, given his form since returning here in 2024 for Trent Robinson and the Roosters in game number 8 of his season to date. From out wide, about 7 in from touch, he'll try and convert the try that he helped create, along with Dominic Young, that big run. Walker to make it 28 points to nil. It won't bend back, so it stays at 26, but a special moment here this afternoon, Matty.
How good is rugby league? This wonderful chase by Dallin Watene Zelezniak. Here's Sam Walker picking up the loose ball. He goes to his winger. Dom Young's thinking hat-trick this afternoon. The long locks are flying, chased by more locks, and Dallin Watene Zelezniak gets there. And then this from Sam Walker, absolutely brilliant. Two very different sets of skills on show right there for the Roosters. This week their coach Trent Robinson was asked about his war chest, possibly buying someone for the halves. He said, no, we're in on Sam Walker, Sandon Smith. That's the way we're going forward, and Sam Walker reminds us why he is one of the men that they are all in on.
Well, you know the most amazing thing about that is that they got the repeat set, the Warriors, on the goal line of the Roosters. They look like scoring. And then we see them go the length of the field, the Roosters. They are on. What a start to the second half for them. There's some hair in that tackle that covered. It's a permathon.
It can be at times when he's involved. Dennis Zelezniak and also Dominic Young, a permathon. The Roosters across the halfway line. Just the confidence of Sam Walker to back himself and just play what he sees. There's nobody in the game who does it better than him. He's dripping in confidence. Nickel Cookstar here, stopped by Keary. And then the second effort by Joseph Swaliti. There's going to be a penalty for the Roosters being up inside the 10. Watch the graphic nature of this contact once again.
Get that in here. Haven't dropped off with an offence night. The Roosters, they've been tough in defence, haven't they? They hit hard. 26-0. You think they might drop off a little bit? Not likely.
Warriors here through Harris. And again, this particular set, halfway line. Wade Egan swathed in bandages underneath the jersey of Sean Johnson, who delivers it to Barnett. Plenty of bandages. The 40 or a ball. It will be a penalty that was put down there, and play on is the call. Walker ruled to have been back to 10 when he stopped Wade Egan. The Warriors appealing for a professional foul because they believe Walker wasn't back to 10. The referee said otherwise.
I think they're right too.
There's a Dylan Walker here, just outside the 20. And a chance for the Warriors once again. Had some points for the first time today. Fanua play just outside the 10. They're playing for Egan. Short side here. Martin at the line. It's stopped there by Matt Butcher. Their goal line defence has been terrific,
especially his.
Now Johnson goes out the back. No looker finds the turf. Nick Klukstar comes across to Rocco Berry, who heads back infield. It's up there by May and also Watson. From the uprights, they come to Johnson. Goes on the inside to Harris. They've used up 5. Lenu was underneath. May was over the top. Johnson goes over the top. A chance to dive into the corner for Ed Corsi. The old rainbow ball delivered by Sean Johnson, and that's how the Warriors get their first try here today.
Yeah, that was good play, wasn't it? The pass over the top from Johnson. You think back when he got over the stripe in the first half, he's been involved in everything. How tough is he to stay out there with that pec or shoulder injury? Johnson trying to make himself and his presence felt. Certainly does that. Good finish there by Corsi. Mention how good the defensive line on their goal line had been for the Roosters. And it's just that pass over the top. Good vision from Johnson. And he gets one back.
And again, good vision there to realise that man was on the sideline, unmarked. And yes, boys, why not celebrate on a tough afternoon to this point? We've still got half an hour remaining. 26 points to 4. We've seen some wild swings of scorelines in 2024. It'll be the wildest ever. The Warriors could come back and win this one. Well, they've made a start, and Corsi dives into the corner. With that injured pec and or shoulder, Sean Johnson delivers a lovely try assist. Out wide, Adam Pompey. Call up with the injury to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. To come back, they need to convert 40 to 6 pretty much every time, and Pompey does exactly that. So 29 minutes remaining, and trail by 20, but they have made the first incision into the Roosters' defensive line here today. And of course, the big rivalry, the real rivalry, New South Wales versus Queensland. It kicks off just over a month's time now, Wednesday, June 26th at the MCG for Game 2. That will be a beauty down there. There'll be so much to play for. Of course, you can go to NRL.com/tickets to book your berth. Of course, you'll see it all live in person at the MCG blocker.
Can't wait for it. Can't wait for Game 1 too. I'm more excited about that one. Game 2 could wrap up the series for New South Wales. Let's hope so.
Ever optimistic.
I live in hope.
Well, Angus Crichton, form he's in. You've already anointed him as one of the edge forwards for Michael Maguire in Game 1, June 5 up there at Suncorp Stadium. Here we are, 10 short of the halfway line. Comes from Walker to his left-hand side. 26 points to 6. Rhythm suddenly here for the Warriors, who bring it back to 40 metres out from the Roosters line. So one more play here as Egan from dummy half comes across through the hands there of Martin and Barnett. Pompey a kick off the outside of the boot, but straight to James Tedesco. They need the better end of the set there. They could have easily found the in-goal area, but Pompey kicks it straight to Tedesco, and the Roosters a mistake, and they've made a few. Knock it away from their own end.
They're going to try and get themselves right back in it again. Made a lot of mistakes, haven't they, the Roosters? Scoreline could have been anything. Just their mistakes that they've made. Let's try and get back into a rhythm here. That ball's knocked down by it. That should be play on.
And it will be. May's pass knocked down, so Walker for Young again. He puts the brakes on for the first time today as Nickel Klukstar came across and wrapped up the giant Englishman. Walker, long pass over the head of Egan Butcher. Bounces up there for Angus Crichton. Sends it away from Johnson's tackle. Standing there looking for an offload, but they'll Making him play it there, 30 metres out. Keary, good hand. Manu for Swaliti. He's got Tedesco back on the inside. What about the combination? Manu switching to the left, gives it to Swaliti, who was stopped but found James Tedesco.
Mate, if you blink, you won't be able to see this pass here from Joseph Manu. Straight on to Swaliti. So quick. They sum up the numbers. Beautiful. Look at that for a pass. Catch and pass in the one motion. Tedesco right there on the spot, just floating through the middle. The Roosters love this left side to score. They're leading the league, don't they? It's so good. Look at the footwork. The offload. Tedesco just had to pull up and wait a sec for that pass. The Manu pass, a magic ball. That's exactly what they do. Have a look at him. Keary straightens up the line and digs straight into it. Straight on Johnson again. Straight through. Look, could have went on the outside there. Tupou, he would have scored. Ball back on the inside. Tedesco gets over.
Centre to centre. You almost never see it in the way the game is played with centres left and right the last, 30 years the way the game has been played.
For those who can remember the combination of Rogers and Cronin. How good were they?
Yes,
one ball player, one runner. So good.
They could go in green and gold, couldn't they? And Walker here with Manu saying, yep, I'm all good. Lovely involvement there, switching from the right to the left. The catching pass was perfect. Swaliti. Walker converts, and it's 32 points to 6. The Roosters on track again to crack the 40-point barrier for the third week in a row, as they just produce an avalanche of points as we head towards Magic Round.
So good to watch, aren't they? You know, you generally pick out one or two superstars in a game, in a team. Not this Roosters team, the way they're playing at the moment. All over the park. They're so good. So many players who can put on tries. Just the way Keary went to the line and just straightened up, played unders, straight away to Manu. The quick pass. They're great to watch. Very hard to defend against.
2 tries to the Roosters in this second half. The Warriors the one through Ed Corsi off Johnson's pass. They'll get going again here in the run to full time as Dylan Walker comes from the field. A little bit of discomfort there. They've got 50 on mind again here. The Roosters. Watson jumps out. Tedesco. Look at them all pushing up in support. They're fresh, they're fit, they're firing, and they get 6 more tackles here with a restart around about the halfway line. Tedesco comes out to Crichton. Just deliver a ball through the tackle there, but hangs on to it. Swaliti was thereabouts looking for another chance. Comes from Crichton back to Egan Butcher. He'll be stopped just outside the Warriors 30. And tackles to play with here, 4 of them. Lenu back on the inside. Tedesco wasn't there. He was out the back waiting for the next play. Watson to the line. Rubbers coming through. It was knocked on by Butcher.
Gee, that was quick. Just have a look at Watson, the way he scoops the football up after the quick play the ball from Lenu, I think it is. Scoops the footy straight up, a quick play the ball, the grubber kick through. Just didn't put enough on it. Great play, but plays at you.
We mentioned Magic Round blocking, and of course it's coming up next week. All 8 games over 3 days. It is the real Rugby League Carnival, and you'll see them all here live and ad break free during play on your home of Rugby League, Fox League. Wait to be up there. Rain in Brisbane, as we saw the other night. See the showers disappear and get some nice firm conditions over the course of the 3 days with some big games coming up. What about next week? 5:30 game on the Super Saturday version of the Magic Round. The Sharks versus the Roosters. The Sharks did last night in Melbourne, coming away with the points against the Storm. The makeshift halves combination as well. cracker that will be. Barnett plays it here for Egan. Back to Mare Martin, who really stopped with one more, 45 out from the Roosters line. Egan feeds it back for Johnson, kicks out wide. Berry on the chase. Tupou is back there. Just gives himself a little bit of room as the ball comes to ground, and then Keary down the short side for Swali'i. There's a confident play. Big, strong outside back, realising not much room to move, but he had the strength to stay well away from the sideline at the same time. May out the back for Tedesco. Look out. Taken to ground only just. Good stop in the end by Jazz Tavunga. Here's Walker. Long ball over the top to Young, who lost it. You probably want that one back over, Sam Walker. Warriors had plenty of defence out here on this left-hand side, and really there was nothing doing there for Young. I thought he might have caught them out a little bit short, but that wasn't the case. Barnett. Joseph Barnett pushing in. Centre taking on the mostly front rower for the Warriors, playing left edge today. A change made here. Tom Allett is out there for the Warriors. 25 away for Egan. Defeated to Johnson. Inside here to Jazz Tavunga. Said restarts. Roosters here. Transgressing. Now Harris comes back. Allett is there. And inside of the try line. Playing for Egan. Comes out to Harris. Johnson now. First man option. Good stop here on Berry. Dumps it out the back. They'll be stopped close to the line. Only a metre out. Nickel quick start playing it. Quick pass there from Egan to Ford. And the referee says it's a penalty to the Warriors.
Penalty to you guys. Play breaks down.
Let's let the play unfold to see what was going to happen. Playing an advantage there.
James Tedesco asking the question to the referee. He's trying to slow it down a little bit. Get their line intact. Now the Roosters.
Tavunga here, 5 metres out. Looking for their second try in this contest. Alley doing some stepping. Oh, Bully's gone close there. Chopped down centimetres short. He'll play as it goes deep to Johnson. Look at quick start, great hands. Berry, then he's a Lesniak. Taken the ground there by Angus Crichton, sliding across in cover for the Roosters. And we got an ankle problem here. Shoot winger. Can't get to his feet to play the ball. We'll give the bunker time to take a look and see what happened here. Oh, he stuck the leg out there, Angus Crichton. His leg made contact with Anthony Zelezniak before his hand did. It looked to be that way.
It's not like he was being stepped there, Angus Crichton. Threw the leg out there.
A couple of instances of trips so far this weekend. Crichton and the Roosters penalised on this occasion.
Lesniak is all right anyway, that's the main thing.
He's on the court. Oh boy, Jazz Tavunga. Awkward looking tackle here, fresh back from a hamstring injury. And now Harris almost gets through. Underneath the black dot, when he plays it here, they're deep on the right edge. Oh, they were waiting for that play on Tavunga. They jumped the gun though. Angus Crichton had the radar locked on Jazz, and he played a nice tune right across his ribs.
Well, I reckon he might be asking the question here to Harris. That's a professional foul. It's a couple of times you've warned them. And he went up straight in the face of the referee there and asked the question. We see one more and we might see something different. We might see someone in the bin.
Getting to that point, you'd imagine. Here's Harris. And the Roosters have been tremendous on their own goal line. That'll please Trent Robinson as much as the points they put on here today. Johnson has to wait for it. Very quickly there again. Johnson. A complete stop. He heard something there. got that peg problem. And now Nickel Cookster, he finds a way through. Nice service from dummy half. And the live wire fullback grabs the Warriors' second here today.
Well, they had enough ball there. Couple of penalties, couple of repeat sets. Cookstar shows them the way to go. Hit the ball at speed. Just got up in front that time. Swalihi just got up in front of his men there, which offered the gap back on the inside shoulder. Cookstar slams the football down. Give them enough ball, they're good enough to score the Warriors. That's their second.
All the pressure telling on the Roosters eventually. Cookstar, who, as Andrew Webster said, when they signed Roger Tuivasa-Sheck last year, he said even back then in 2023, Chance will be my fullback next season. I know we're getting Roger back, and he's a fullback, but he will play in the centres, and he's been true to his word. Of course, we may see some changes depending on what happens, but Roger Tuivasa-Sheck now out of action with a hamstring strain and coming back from a hammy. You wouldn't imagine throwing him into the fullback would be an option. So I think we'll see Nickel Cookstar remain in this role for the foreseeable future. And, well, they need to get something going here. Unless there's an absolute miracle in the last 17 minutes. Their record after today will be 3 wins, 1 draw and 6 losses. And they've given themselves a lot of work to do. A huge amount of work to do in the second half of the season. There again to make the top 8 as they did last year and eventually find themselves in a preliminary final. They've waited a long time here for the bunker to confirm what they just saw. What a looks at how that all panned out. They're happy to give the green lights to the Warriors. And Pompey here try and drag them back once again within 20 of the Roosters. A good one again from Adam Pompey. With 17 minutes remaining, it's the Roosters 32, the Warriors 12.
They improved the scoreboard a little, but it looks like being 4 straight losses for the Warriors, despite this from Chance Nickel Cookstar. So they'll carry that poor form into Magic Round, where it gets no easier against the Penrith Panthers, where that man Andrew Webster has spent plenty of time. They'd love to go there with a fully fit roster, but we know Shaun Johnson has that pec problem. Dylan Walker also picking up a problem that he's trying to shake to get back onto the ground, but struggling to do so. So poor form and injuries just adding to the woes for Coach Webster.
That they are, if they were to lose Johnson for a period, having him and Tuivasa-Sheck out of action just takes so much away from their point scoring ability, and they really have struggled to score points so far this season. Their attack ranked 12th out of 17, given what they did last year, averaging just 20 points per game, the Warriors, as they work it away here. And in recent times, they scored 12 and a loss to the Dragons. Scored 24, but still lost to the Titans at home. And then just 8 last week in the heavy conditions up at McDonald Jones Stadium against the Knights. Johnson turns it back on the inside here for Harris. Okay, just outside the 40. Last tackle is Egan. Comes across here to Johnson, who on the way towards Pompey. Chance to go up against Dominic Young, although he didn't get a clear run there with Manu just floating back in the direction of the catch, so no problems there as far as any escorts were concerned. Manu takes it away from the sideline.
Yeah, it's really evened itself out, the possession in the second half. The Warriors have had a lot more football, being behind 22 points to 0. They've battled hard. We're near right back into the game, but they've played pretty well in the second half for a couple of tries.
Waerea-Hargreaves here, just coming forward and cuddling Shaun Johnson. Good there. Holding for a long time, though, to make sure Johnson couldn't push forward on a chase. Here's a chase for the Warriors as they get back defensively now. Last tackle for the Roosters. It goes to Keary to kick it across the field. Young this time up against Corsi, who makes a good catch. Under huge pressure there, but he's coughed it up.
He's knocked it on. It looks like knocked the ball on into Manu. I think that's the call. Manu just quickly snatched the ball one-on-one.
He had it initially Both hands there, wedges it against his body, and then came free eventually while it contacted Manu in this collision here. You see, just there, didn't have control of it, touching Manu at the same time, which constitutes the knock-on.
Just a fraction, wasn't it? Not much in it. Look at it in slow motion to see it. Walker, good news for the Warriors, coming back onto the field. Created a little bit of havoc through the middle.
Full set here for the Roosters. They lead by 20. Scrum play, they work it across to the left edge for Angus Crichton. There's got to be a crash play here for Jared Waerea-Hargreaves blocking.
Got to get him over the stripe somehow. Even if you just stand there over the line, give it to him.
He's 10 metres out. A little bit too far away from the line this time around. See what they do here on these next couple of plays. Goes from Keary to Swaliti. There was a collision though in field between Crichton and a Warriors defender. And Casey Badger wants nothing to do with awarding a try here.
Well, again, they go at the line. Crichton tries to go through the line.
The ball is caught
up
on the inside of the lead runner of Angus Crichton.
They can't give that.
Joseph Suaalii then plays through this space. We have a decision.
Very easy call for the bunker there. No try for the Roosters. A couple of obstructions in the game. One to the Warriors, one to the Roosters, either side of half-time. So, a bit to say there. As the Warriors work it off their own line. And begin this at 15 short of the halfway line. Added Fanua Blake. Change card in hand. The Roosters have done a nice job limiting his metres here today to only 120 because he can run for 200 plus at times, as we know. 13 out from full time. First of two games on the Sunday ticket as Walker comes across the Barnet. We'll take it to the 30-metre line and we'll see another penalty here to the Warriors. This time for a player being taken off the ball.
Waerea-Hargreaves, is it? Take someone off. He's on report too, by the look of it. Jared. A smile on the face.
He's always smiling, no matter the situation. He's a 300 gamer. There he is, comes forward. Well, he didn't really go on with the contact there.
He tried to stop midway, didn't he? Just trying to put his arms around there. Toru Harris, there'll be plenty of respect shown between those two, I'd say.
Good run by Tom Alley, looking Waerea-Hargreaves. The Warriors go inside the 10. 2 plays gone in this set as Walker drifts. He finds Rocco Berry, runs towards Keary. With the help of Crichton, a nice job on that edge so far today. Nickel Klugstad comes back with Walker, and now Fanua Blake. Look at Walker up out of the line a long way there. Arms extended, just shepherds Fanua Blake back towards the middle. Egan now, no looker for Tavunga, pops it out the back. Walker keeps it going. Nickel Klugstad looking for a second. He's only a metre out when he stops. We've got one more play. It's Egan who feeds it there for Walker. Flat pass for Tom Alley. Set restart. They jumped up too quickly. Fanua Blake, he pounces. He grabs his 5th try of the season.
Mate, just have a look at this for Fanua Blake. From a standing start, the power of this man. We know what great footwork he has at the line, but if he gets the opportunity that close to the line, he backs himself. Just have a look at this. A second man play. Gets the ball flat-footed from an offload. Look at that. Where am I going to go? I'll show you where I'm going to go. Straight through the guts. And gets another try for his team.
So penalty sets, restarted sets again, giving the Warriors a real weight of possession. They've got a healthy supporter base here today, as you would expect. And they all rose to their feet. As Fanua Blake just summed up things in front of him and said, well, I can beat the players around the uprights there. Bradley, good stop there on Alley. Ball came back and then Poppy converts once again. 32 points to 18. Well, we saw the Roosters begin the game with a rush of points. The Warriors have to end the game with a similar onslaught here. They're going to give us a bit of a grandstand finish in the final 10 minutes. Johnson has come from the field. That certainly won't help their cause.
No, it certainly won't, but they had to do it. The game's gone. I know they've made a little bit of a mini comeback here, but can't risk a player like that. He's their best player. He's been good off the bench, LA. He might find his way into the starting team next week. He's been explosive for the Warriors.
Giving them something off the bench since he came on midway through this second half. And here he is on command, running towards Waerea-Hargreaves, who were the front rower, as we said, as he took the field blocker. To play 306 games in the front row is a remarkable effort. This is his 15th season as a Rooster, 16 seasons in total. After his career began with the Manly Sea Eagles, and they are on track to celebrate with a big win for the 300-gamer here today. Barnett comes out the back. His own side of halfway, out near the sideline towards the back end of the set. Egan finds Barnett. There is JWH once again around the legs. The forward hits the deck. Martins tips one in behind here. Pompey gets a room service bounce. Delivers it though straight to Tedesco. He saw some open space in front of him. Brings it back to the 40. Maybe a counter-attack here by the Roosters. Collins pops it out the back. Radley's there. Nice piece of play by Tedesco. He's always a danger, isn't he? Situations like that against the run of play.
Was the sort of player that gets you out of your seat when you see him in that sort of situation. A little bit of space, broken line that he's running at.
Jared on the seat off his pants, looking towards the referee, saying, surely you saw something in that contact. A little bit dusty off the back of it, just flexing that left leg. Gets back on his feet now and walks with the kick. Through the middle, Manu is there, doesn't quite get there in time to make a contest of it, so he waits and then drills Nickel Klugstad. Tenny Zelezniak bouncing out of the contact there with Luke Keary.
Oh, I love Luke Keary. Did you see that? The way he puts his body on the line straight in. Just doesn't go in to make tackles. He tried to put hits on. Been outstanding this afternoon. Got a great knack of reading numbers in attack, but here's the tackle here from the little fella. Look at that. They're the tough blokes of our game. Blokes that size that try and hit like that.
Against DWZ, who enjoys those carries, those hard runs from yardage situations. Martin here, on the outside of the boot, spins its way down to the fielder on the full by on the Tupou, and he'll play a 10 on the Roosters side of halfway. Great to have your company here at Allianz Stadium, live on Fox League. Brian Smith, Steve Blocker-Roach, and Matt Russell bringing you the action. Stay with us beyond full time because we're taking you north. The Titans up against the Cowboys. Second of two games today on the Sunday ticket.
I want to see Dom Young get in and have some carries. 266 metres. Please, can you break the 300? Go in looking for it.
Well, opening half, he had almost 180 metres running. He split the Warriors clean open to set up their second try of the game. The Roosters, when Crichton grabbed his first. Here's Tedesco searching on the left-hand side. Down there by Tavunga. Now Walker on the last. Ricochet kick bounced off the legs of Mitch Barnett. Didn't work out there for Sam Walker. Sandon Smith is on deck now. Gets a cameo roll at the back end of the game. Oh, but Teddy Zelezniak laid out by Joseph Swali'i. The Warriors can't believe there wasn't a whistle. Now there is, and the replay here will be interesting.
Try and wrap his arms. Is it a shoulder charge? Just blindsided here. Swali'i, what about that for a hit? Ushka, oh no.
Oh, he might have a problem.
He was I'm going to say that's all right, you know.
The first angle looked more, watch this here. First angle looked like there was a bit of contact between the shoulder and the head, but then the two afterwards not quite as conclusive. The bunker will look at that, placed on report for the moment. He might have an issue from the first half as well when he's got running style, which he's known for at times, got him into trouble in past seasons. When he extended the leg and contacted this man, Wade Egan, who's had the bandages on for the rest of the game, and still some blood flowing off the back of that split he suffered in that contact with Joseph Swali'i. So maybe a couple of things that worry Swali'i beyond full time here. Harris to the line, gives it off. Stop there to bunker through the middle, midway through this set. Martin from Barnett. Comes at Sam Walker, taken down there. Good tackle by Lindsay Collins. Workaholic Lindsay Collins. Harris finds Walker. There's Nickel Cookstar again. Perry taken down by Swali'i. Good tackle there. The number 3 on the number 3. Swali'i has won that battle. Kick here. Put pressure on there to Sandon Smith. And the kick as a result from Dylan Walker. It's left him injured on the ground. He might have picked up either an ankle injury or a lower leg problem. But he got there in time, Sandon Smith, to put Walker under pressure, and he's got an issue. One of their backup halves options left on the ground here.
Still on the ground.
Here's the contacts. Contact with the leg, that'll bear looking at once again.
Good news is he's up, trying to get back in the line now, pushing away from the trainer.
Now Keary chipping one over the top. Walker chasing through, doesn't get the bounce he wants initially, but eventually cleans it up. Nickel Cookstar left on the ground. Walker, after he provided the kick for Tupou to score earlier in this half, he grabs another 4-pointer for the Roosters.
Hey, don't worry about the skill there. What about the pickup? Just the vision to see that Cookstar wasn't at home. There's no one in behind there. The chip over the top. Look at the chase here from Walker. Doesn't go for it. Look at the pickup here. That's unbelievable. What about the skill? Two halves combining again. They've been involved in everything here this afternoon. Coming into the game, they had an 11 try assist hit. Tedesco get a hand on that ball? I don't think so. Right on the spot. Great pick up there from Walker. No one at home there. Great vision. Straight through. The chase is on. The bounce of the ball. He does well. They let Cookstar have a go at it. I don't know if Tedesco touches it. Look at the pick up there.
Only thing that might deny the try is the ball bouncing off James Tedesco's leg and then picked up by Walker. Might need to see that angle once again to see if it did in fact touch Tedesco.
Well, you know, if anyone can pick it up, it'll be our cameraman. How good are they? Looks like they've awarded the try. What about the pick up there from Walker? Geez, they're skilled, their halves. Great try. Doesn't look old enough to have a beard. Looks funny. He's about 12.
He's trying to make himself look a bit tougher. Try and scare those edge forwards who run at him all the time.
Trying to kill him every week.
Yes. Trying to make it 38 points to 18. He does that. Sam Walker, a big game again here today, Matty Russell.
Yeah, and just a further update on Shaun Johnson, who stayed on the field for so long with that injured pec. We don't know whether it was contact or tear, but he's just walked into the rooms, hunched over in real pain, so it seems to be getting worse. And I must say, plenty of people in the stadium wondering why the Warriors left him on the field for so long, given how uncomfortable he looks like right now. It might not be just 1 or 2 weeks, this pec, given the way that he was discomforted there as he left the playing surface.
Well, that man, Andrew Webster, has certainly issues on his hands because Chanel Harris-Tavita, who would be a backup option quite obviously, is out of action for some time to come. As Tedesco makes the catch off the short restart. Harris-Tavita has a calf muscle problem. He's out until round 14. If Johnson was to go down, they really are short-handed. And And then we saw Lussick there, boy left on the ground. That is game over for Freddie.
Tell you what, he makes you tackling, Dom Young. Mention how many carries he's had at the back end of the field. He's had a wonderful game, but just watch the way he spins out of this tackle. Bang! The head clash there. Lussick won't finish the game by the look of that one.
Yeah, nasty one coming in to try and finish off the tackle on Dom Young and ends up just slumping to the ground. So a tough way to finish the game for Freddie Lussick, who was just fresh back on field. We are 3 and a bit out from full time. Titans and the Cowboys coming up next. And as we mentioned on the Sunday ticket, big game as the Titans try and win for the second time this season. The Cowboys, who are a lot like the Warriors, just slumping in 2024 alarmingly given what they showed last season. Lussick probably knows he's in Allianz, but probably doesn't know that it is Mother's Day. With the big boots on as well. Waerea-Hargreaves there grabbing the leg of Bunty-Afoa, making a bit of fun right to the death. There's a 300 gamer for the Roosters. Pass goes to ground, touched there by the Warriors. Casey Badger waits for advice from the sideline official, still listening in here. And there was no advice of a touch by the Warriors, but the Roosters were pretty confident that they did touch it.
We're coming into tackle 4G. We have a
quickly,
challenge
just
from the Roosters.
Flung out the back there. You would say it was touched. Manu with a rare error. If he was to go at the line here.
Just looking to determine if the ball touches Rocco Berry's hand.
Just there, Rocco Berry got a touch. See the ball change direction.
Based on the best available camera angles, there's inconclusive evidence to overturn the live decision.
Ooh.
The Roosters will retain their challenge. The on-field decision will stand.
Yes. That tied up angle we saw, I thought pretty clearly showed the right hand of Rocco Berry touching the ball, who's now laughing.
OPSM for the bunker. Can we get him a sponsorship or something?
Blocky.
Our cameraman is so good at showing us the vision. That was touched.
It appeared to be the case. See it again here. The tied-up angle certainly showed it much clearer than that one there, where it's slightly obscured, but doesn't matter at this point in time, of course. 38 points to 18. Jackson Ford rolling inside the 40. Vanilla Blake. The Warriors perhaps last scoring chance of the game. As you mentioned, next week, tough one for them. They take on the Panthers. The Roosters, they've got the beauty. Exclusively live, you'll see it on Fox League as well. The Roosters against the Sharks. What a game that will be. There's Poppy out here on this left-hand side of the field. 10 metres out. Last tackle in this set of 6 for the Warriors as Egan shows it one way, comes back to Tamare Martin, chips it too deep, although Waerea did leave the ground from the field of play, and so catching it was no good. And he's happy to take it out of play and give the Warriors 6 more from a dropout.
He's done a lot of good things here, Waerea, this afternoon. I think the Roosters have had a bad player. Good thing about it, 22-0 at half-time. A little bit of a mini comeback from the Warriors, but Roosters never been in any trouble. Gone on with it.
Keary not mucking around, takes it deep. And goes down to Martin, who will give it off to Vanilla Blake, who brings it back here to be stopped by Butcher. Just the final minute to play. Here's Barnett. Oh, another problem here for the Roosters this time. It's Joseph Manu. They need to stop the play because he was really rocked by that contact. No whistle at the moment, but he is rubber-legged, and that might be a problem for the Roosters beyond today, thinking about the game next week against the Sharks.
Yeah, the thing is, he got up and he just wobbled back to the line there. Doesn't look well, Manu. Gets himself back into the defensive line.
the Warriors put it down here as Barnett goes through, but you watch this contact again as he hit the deck heavily off the back. He's got a real swelling above that right eye, and well, he went to ground there as he collided with the shoulder. He's got his head in an awkward position here. You see Barnett just change the angle of his run. It put off what was going to be a solid left shoulder tackle, and he was very wobbly when he got back to his feet.
The contact straight on the, or just under the eye there on the shoulder of Barnett. An accident. Still a little bit dazed at the moment. The clock winds right down. That'll be all she wrote.
So that'll do us today. There's plenty to talk about off the back of this, beside the Roosters going on again to almost score 40 for the third week in a row. Just too good for the Warriors right off the get-go. 4 tries in 13 minutes, and at full time today, they've beaten the Warriors 38-18.